Talk Goalie to Me is hosted by Minnesota native Olivia King. Olivia King played 6 Division I seasons between the pipes for both the Golden Gophers and the St. Thomas Tommies. She began her goaltending career in Brainerd, Minnesota, taking her high school team to the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament twice. Today, she's molding young goaltenders, coaching at both the youth and high school level, both boys and girls, while also chatting with some of the most well-known hockey names across the country. So get comfy and listen in for today's episode of Talk Goalie to Me. Here's Olivia King.
Are you planning on participating in the all hockey hair team?
Some of my teammates are going for that, but that's not exactly a goal of mine. I think we might be getting a mullet with my other goalie teammate. So we'll see if that happens tomorrow morning. If not, doesn't, because it would be like one of our manager's mom, and it's like 50-50 if she can do it or not. So we'll see.
Okay, is she a hairstylist, or she's just gonna do it?
I don't think she is, actually. I honestly don't know, to be honest. But from what I've heard, I don't think she is. I think she just like knows how to cut hair. So,
what's like your favorite all-time person who's done it? Like mine was when the kid shaved his whole head, and it was like the leopard print.
Oh yeah, that was on Hermantown, right? Yeah,
I think so. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. And kind of put me on the spot there. All time. Man, from Edina, Giles he's not a big fan of the bleach. So any bleach, I can't pick any of that. I think whenever someone gets a skullet, I remember like a couple years ago, someone got a skullet and where they just shave the top and then they leave the sides.
Yeah.
I respect that because that's commitment.
Goalies, welcome to the Talk Goalie to Me podcast, where we spill all the behind the mask, tea with goalies, talk gear that actually works, and hear the crazy stories only goalies can tell. This week, we've got a special episode with 2 separate interviews featuring senior goaltenders, both making their mark at the state tournament this year. Big shout out to General Sports, where you can get your pads, mask, and everything in between totally dialed in. All right, let's kick things off. Our first guest today is Chase Bjorgaard, a senior and 3-sport athlete at Edina High School. Excelling in hockey, football, and baseball, Chase has an incredible record, having appeared in 8 state tournaments across his sports career, 3 in football, 2 in baseball, and now 3 in hockey. This past fall, Chase dominated on the football field. He ran for 320 yards and tied a state record with 6 touchdowns to help lead Edina to a state championship. Let's bring him on and hear about his journey through high school athletics and his excitement for the tourney this weekend. Welcome to the Goalie Podcast. I'm so excited to have Chase on our podcast this week. Thanks for being here with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I know you have a busy week with the state tournament coming up. So what do you guys kind of have planned? I know you had practice today.
We have practice tomorrow at noon, and then it's kind of just out to the hotel from there. It's going to be, you kind of got a lot going on the first day you get down there. You got like the banquet and stuff and getting all settled in. But then the next day, I remember we kind of had the same situation last year where we played Thursday night at like 8 p.m. And usually it starts a little bit later than that too. So you kind of got like the whole day just kind of sit around. Like, you'll watch like the games kind of in your hotel room in the morning, like the early morning games. And from there it's kind of killing time until you can get to the game pretty much.
Yeah. And you've played in quite a few state tournaments. I mean, across the board for baseball, football, hockey. Do you think you prepare differently for those games than you would any other game?
I mean, no, I think you kind of just got to chill out a little bit most of the time, because I think for some regular season games, like if you're going and playing a team with not a very good record or something, you got to like hype yourself up for that. But it's kind of the opposite with the state tournament, just because, there's so much energy around it and stuff. And so it's almost, like I said, the opposite. You kind of got to chill out a little bit and, mellow out and just kind of focus on what you got to do, which, for me, it's stopping the puck. So just focus on that. And then, pretty much it, just kind of chill out, not bring as much energy, just because it's all around the building.
Yeah. Obviously, you're a goalie.
Mhm.
When did you start playing goalie?
Um, I've been getting asked this question a lot recently, but basically, I remember in mites, because like the football running back and then goalie does it's kind of a weird combo. But I remember in mites, it was like no one would play goalie, but it was like so you didn't like have a goalie yet, so our team would always get scored on. I was like, well, someone's got to like play defense, and then I was kind of like just staying back, making sure no one scored. And these games are like not serious at all. It's like, you got like 3 games going on one sheet of ice at the same time. It's like the mini nets. So I'm like staying back, and then eventually I just kind of like started watching the goalies, and then transitioned into wanting to be a goalie, and that's pretty much how it happened.
Yeah. Did you always play all 3 sports?
Yeah, I actually when I was like really young, I played basketball too, and then I had to pick hockey or basketball just because they're in the same season, so that wouldn't work. Chose hockey. I think it was the right decision because I'm not very good at basketball. Whenever I try to shoot around with my friends, it just usually doesn't go very good. But yeah, I mean, I've played those 3 my whole life, and you know, I like obviously my goal was to play all 3 through high school, but I knew that was gonna be tough. Kind of like I think a lot of my friends had the same goal, and it just didn't work out for one reason or another, like an injury or something. But I was fortunate enough not to deal with that for the most part and be able to do all 3.
Do you think being a multi-sport athlete helps you in your other sports?
Yeah, I think kind of, just being able to overall, like not from like specific sporting skills. I think just being able to like be in a big game and, have the confidence that I've been there before, like going into the state tournament, like I'm confident in myself that I can, perform at a high level in those high pressure situations just because I've done it before in other sports. And, while each sport is different, it's kind of like the same mentality in all of them at the same time, just wanting to win, wanting to be your best self and just be a competitor out there pretty much.
You mentioned your football state tournament this fall a
Mhm.
little bit, but you guys obviously won state. It was the first time that the Hornets, first state championship since 1978 for football.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, like for the Edina community, that was huge to kind of gather around a sport other than hockey.
Mhm.
What emotions were you feeling through that?
Um, I mean, it's kind of unreal to be honest. I still think it hasn't fully set in yet. Just like knowing that, I think a couple years down the line when people are still talking about it, because I guess they will be. Our hockey team still talks about like state championships every day from like past years, and our baseball team's never won it, but kind of the same thing there. Just anticipating winning and how like sick that would be. So yeah, I mean, the emotions, I would say. I mean, you just I was in disbelief. I remember like when I got like the last first down to ice the game, I was just like had my hands in my head. I was like, oh my god, for like we had to take like 3 knees still, and I was just doing that the whole time. But I mean, the community was great. Obviously, you could like see the stands just absolutely packed and green, and they've been great in the big games, and I'm sure we'll have a great student section and fan section at the X here. But yeah, I mean, the love from the community was unreal, and kind of like the press that I got from that game, my performances. I wouldn't say it was like completely unexpected, just because like I knew like I had a good game, but it was like it was a lot more than I thought it was going to be for sure. And it was kind of weird dealing with that. Like I remember the next day, I like woke up and it's like a bunch of like different stuff on Instagram, and it's like my dad's telling me about this article and this article, or like these people want to come talk to me or whatever. And then like I got to go hang out with. I mean, my dad's like kind of friends with Paul Allen, like he works with them a little bit, but I got to go on K-Fan, and that was like super cool. So I was like, oof, that was a little scary, but it was fun. It worked out in the end. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. I
Mm-hmm.
go on with PA like every week and he
Oh
talks
yeah.
about when you came on and just how cool it was for him too, because
Yeah.
really everyone was talking about that after. I remember seeing so many articles about you and so many different things, and they were like, yeah, and he plays goalie for Edina, and
Mm-hmm.
football and hockey aren't even his main sport. Is that true? Like baseball is your number one?
Yeah. I mean, I've always said like whenever sports in season's kind of my top one, but now that I got to pick one to play here at the next level, I'm pretty confident I'm playing baseball here. I haven't committed anywhere yet. I got some schools coming to Washington this spring, and we're going to work something out just because, with baseball, I mean, with all these sports, it's tough because a lot of these kids are playing it year round now, so I don't get as much exposure because I'm not going to all the camps. I'm not doing all like the prospect showcases or whatever. Um, so I mean, that's been tough. But yeah, I'd say right now baseball is probably my top sport if I had to pick one. But it is tough.
Do you think that's a little tough, or are you excited kind of about the opportunity of leaving it open?
Yeah, I've kind of been thinking about that. So I know it's gonna be tough for me for sure. Like I was thinking about what am I gonna do in the off season because I've never had an off season really in my whole life. So like I'm gonna have a lot more free time here coming up. But I mean, yeah, at the same time, excited because I feel like I've pretty much just pick up these sports and play them in the season. I don't have a lot of time to work on them out of season. So a lot of the coaches are saying like I think I got a lot of untapped potential, and whatever one I pick and. If that's, like I said, I'm pretty confident I'm picking baseball, but I think it's kind of the same thing with all three as well.
So in the summer, like historically before, this year, what would you do? Would you play baseball all summer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would spend the most time playing baseball. I think that's just why I put it as my number one. So like, I'd play high school or like the last couple years I play high school ball, and then you go play on like these summer travel teams, and like they're kind of insane. It's almost like a pro schedule. Like one weekend we'd be in Alabama, I remember, and then we were playing like forever. Like we played a ridiculous amount of games. It'd be like 2 games a day, 2 games a day, 3 games a day. It was like unbelievable.
Dang.
And then we ended up winning the championship in that tournament. So then it was like we got home, we like flew home, and then we had another tournament that we had to leave for the next day in Wisconsin. So there's like 2 weeks that you're just gone, like on the road of your summer, and then just playing like a lot of baseball. And it was super fun, but it is kind of a grind. And I mean, they're averaging more games a day or more games than there are days. Like, your ratios, you're averaging like 1.5 games a day pretty much. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's why I say baseball's I won just because of how much more time I spent playing it pretty much.
So then you would go from that right into football season.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, but like whenever you're like, if sometimes you'd be home, like not all the tournaments are like that. Like most of them would just be on the weekend. So sometimes you'd be home, and then you'd be able to go to like like the workouts and they have in the summer or whatever, and like get ready for the season too.
So how much would you say you kind of skate in the summer? Or do you take a break?
I used to skate a lot more, kind of like when I didn't travel as much for baseball. But then when I started doing that, it pretty much went to zero. Like the last 2 years, I didn't skate at all, and literally it would be like both these last years, it's pretty much football's ended, and then that'd be the first time I touched my skates in forever. Like literally since the last state tournament for the last 2 years. So that is really hard, and I think more than anything, it's tough on my body just because it's so much different. Like being a goalie, you're like we call it or as our coaches and my goalie coach Harding says, it's more like horizontal. Like you're moving side to side more, and in football and baseball you're kind of moving more vertical. So it's like you're using a lot of different muscles, and I think not skating forever, you got to take some time to like kind of get into that, or like recondition your body, I would say. So
Yeah.
we spent a lot of time this year making sure that I didn't have any injuries or whatever. So it'd be like after football, I took a couple of days off and then skated for like 15 minutes, and then I'll just skate for 15 minutes for like a couple of days and a ramp for like 30, and then we moved into like some team stuff, and then from there it'd be like we got like a scrimmage in, and this is like week 3 probably, and then I finally was able to play my first game after like a month or so.
Yeah. So you kind of get to ease back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, goalie's a little bit complicated if you haven't played it in a while.
I know, yeah.
Like if you would just jump into it, you probably wouldn't be able to walk the next day. So
Yeah, that's what I did 2 years ago, and I got hurt like right away. I tore my hamstring at like grade 2. So
Oh,
and my
really?
coach is like, yeah, I missed a lot of time last season. I pretty much was there for like the start, and then literally like the third game, I think I literally just got up and I felt like a pop, and then I never really got hurt like that, so I was like confused, trying to play through it for like I like finished out the period, and then I like said something to our trainer. We were up a lot by that point in that game, so they pulled me, and then it was like, yeah, you'll be out for a couple of days, and the couple of days turned to like 3 weeks. But they didn't know how bad it was, I don't think, because my first game back, I like tried to make a save or I like slid across and just completely felt it pop again, like a lot worse. And then that time I was out for the full 6 weeks, which is what it should have been at first. But it's just because we didn't know like what the injury was. And then yeah, just getting back to the state tournament last year, I had to take like I don't know if you ever heard of like a PRP shot.
Mm-hmm.
You heard of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're like newer, but I got one of those, and that actually helped me a lot. I don't think I would have been able to come back if I didn't get that. So I got
Yeah.
that, and then was able to come back for the playoffs.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Yeah, I can't believe this is Edina boys' 5th state tournament in a row.
Yeah, that is crazy to think about. I mean, I've been on the bench for one, played in two now, but yeah, I mean, just the absolute like I don't know if like dominance is the right word, but it kind of is. You know, we won 5 years in a row, so it's kind of hard to say it's not. And that's
Yeah.
just pretty much all Giles and the system he runs. He's a great coach, and he's got a great assistant coaches around him too.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit more about your coach and then maybe even like your goalie coach a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Giles is. I mean, he seems like a very hard nosed guy, but he's actually, yeah, I think he's a good guy. I don't think a lot of people give him credit for that, but I think he's a good guy. He's a good guy off ice. Super, like he's hard coach. So on the ice, he's not always going to be like your best friend holding your hand and stuff. And I think that gets the best out of a lot of people as well. And I mean, that's pretty much how all of assistant coaches are as well. Kind of the same mentality, and they all know like the system. They all know what everyone's got to do, and in order to be successful and win state championships, because that's pretty much all he's done since he's been at Edina. And then Hardin, I'm pretty sure he's the newest addition to their coaching staff, but he's still been there for a decent while. And yeah, so he works with the forwards as well as the goalie, so it's like occasionally like we'll do some drills and stuff, but a lot of the times actually he's just working with the forwards, and then if he sees something that I need to change, or if he's like, because obviously he's a lot of experience being a goalie playing for the Wild, and then he'll say something to me, but it'd be like, someone like my stance or whatever, like how I'm moving or how I'm like reading certain situations or how I'm playing the puck behind like the boards. He'll say something there. Otherwise, kind of just lets me do my thing.
Yeah. Do you guys ever have like designated goalie time?
I think before practice we'll have like a little bit. So, but it's not like that much. It'll pretty much just be like a little footwork warm up, and then maybe it's like some glove blocker shots, but that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm. To get ready for a game, what do you do off ice usually?
More recently, I've kind of like calmed down my routine. It used to be like a big journaler, and then like do like the day before, the day of, like a couple times, and just kind of write down like how I'm feeling and stuff. But this year, I kind of dropped that, and part of the reason was I just lost my journal, so then I didn't do it for a game. That I played well, so then I just stuck with it. But yeah, most of the time it's just get home, take like a nap, depending on how I slept last night, maybe like an hour, maybe 2 hours, kind of how I'm feeling, and then get to the rink. And I like visualizing a little bit for my game, and then make sure like, obviously you got to get a little foam roll stretch, maybe like an active warm up before you warm up the team. So yeah, I don't do anything like crazy. Make sure, I do like some hand eye stuff with a tennis ball too, but I don't have any like crazy rituals or anything.
Do you think you have any like different emotions going into this state tournament just because it's your last one?
I'd say yeah. Compared to last year, like I don't think I realized like what a great opportunity it is to play in it. I'd say I took it for granted a little bit. But this year I'm really making sure I'm not, especially because I've potentially had the chance to do something that I don't know if anyone's done it before, win 3 state championships. So I got it done in football, so it just makes me want it all the more for hockey. And our senior group, we've won Pee Wee AA state championship, Bantam AA state championship. So it'd be super cool if we could do it our last year of high school too, and kind of complete the trifecta there as well.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Do you have any siblings that play hockey too?
I do not actually. So my family's always been a basketball family. Like we're from Thief River Falls. Like my parents are, or I wasn't born there. I was born in the cities, but both my parents are from there. All my family's from there. And they all played basketball. Like no one played hockey. So it was like, that's why it's super weird for my parents when I wanted to play hockey. So like, You sure? And then I wanted to be a goalie, and then they were even less happy when I told them that. So
I feel like that's always how it goes. And then they're like, I have no idea about
yeah,
hockey, and now I have extra no idea about goalie
yeah,
because goalie is like so niche.
yeah, niche. um, yeah, I don't know. I'd say like they were definitely a little confused at first of what was going on, but I think they're starting to figure it out. Like my grandma, I know she still is like confused about offsides and icing sometimes, but to my dad or someone has to explain it to her. But yeah, for the most part, they've kind of settled into the
That's okay.
hockey
That's
dad and
how I
mom.
feel. That's how I feel about football sometimes.
Yeah,
I'll be watching football still, and I'm like, ah,
yeah.
I
What was that?
don't
What was that
remember.
penalty for?
I don't remember what that means. Well, I saw from your section final game against Wyzetta,
Mhm.
it was 3-1, but I saw Bodie's like crazy goal
Yeah.
from a goalie's perspective. How do you feel about that? Like, if you were the Wyzetta goalie, like
Yeah.
put yourself in his shoes.
Well, I know that I know him a little bit. His name's Ryan Pelledry. You know, he's a good guy. You know, works hard, great goalie. So I know him a little bit off ice. I've like friends, or I played like summer baseball with two, like some of his best buddies. So I know him a little bit through that. And I mean, yeah, that'd be. I don't even know what I'd do. I'd be so mad. I feel like because I mean, there's literally nothing he could do. Pretty much, you know, he had no idea where the puck was, and yeah, I'm guessing you played at Ritter. Like is that like a super new rink, or like was that there when you played there?
No, that was there when I played there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been there
I
for a
feel
while.
like did you ever think it was like kind of tough to see the puck sometimes? Like when he dumped it, I literally had no idea where it was. Like did you ever have that play in there? Or?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it just gets lost.
Yeah, that's what I saw. From my perspective there, I saw him dump it, and I just completely lost it. So I had no idea what was happening. And then all of a sudden it was in the net. I was like, all right, that works for me.
I had to watch the replay so many times
Yeah.
because I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, I was confused as well. I mean, I can like picture it in my head. I just saw him I saw their goalie like looking around, and then I was like, I had no idea where the puck was, and all of a sudden Bodie, I didn't even know he hit it out of the air until after I watched it back. I thought it just like rolled on the goal line and then fell in, but yeah, I mean, we'll take it for sure.
Oh yeah, those are the best ones, honestly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pretty funny. You said you're going to stay in St. Paul. You'll be at the hotel tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd rather stay at home? I know a lot of teams do this. They'll have like some of their coaching staff will be like, no, we're gonna stay at home, like we're close enough. And then like the other half will be like, we want the full experience. We want to go stay down in St. Paul, you know, even if they're like a Minneapolis team or, you know, somebody that's really close. Do you like that you guys are gonna go down there and stay?
You know, I think it's gonna be like a super fun experience, but at the same time, you know, I kind of like having my like alone time a little bit sometimes, and you know, you don't really get that in that hotel setting. So definitely positives and negatives to both. You know, it does kind of keep you dialed in though. There's no outside noise or whatever, but at the same time, yeah, there's always like something going on. So it kind of feels like you're always like doing something. You can't ever really just like chill almost. You know, it'd be like I remember last year you're just like sitting there, and then all of a sudden like 5 people barge into your room, and you're like, oh, okay, well I'm just trying to watch this movie right now, but all right, I guess we'll go whatever to the lobby. So
I feel like that's just like high school hockey too. Like,
yeah,
you're with all your friends and like that's the good part about it that you'll miss when you're older too.
Yeah.
But that's super fun. Well, I'm really excited for you, Chase, and I appreciate you coming on. So I know when your game is and who you're playing, but if you wanna kind of plug that.
So yeah, Grand Casino Arena, 8 p.m. against Andover.
Nice. Yeah, the 8 p.m. game. That one, it's fun. I feel like because it's the last one.
Yeah.
But it is pretty late.
Yeah, it's late. Like I said, we had that last year, and like Yeah, we got home so late, but again, it went into overtime too, so we didn't get back to the hotel until like almost midnight. And then it's like you haven't eaten anything, so you want to eat, but then you also got to go to bed because you got to play the next day. So it's like it's tough, but it's like I don't know. I don't think I traded for anything just because like the energy in the building at that point.
Oh yeah, you'll have
Unbelievable.
everybody will be there.
Mm-hmm.
No, it'll be crazy. That's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, Chase. I appreciate you coming on, and have a good
Mm-hmm.
weekend. Have fun.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
All right, let's take a quick TV timeout here. If you're a goalie, you already know finding the right gear is half the battle. That's where General Sports comes in. They've got the best goalie setup in the Midwest: pads, masks, sticks, skates, everything built for the ones crazy enough to stand in front of 90 miles per hour slap shots. The real game changer, their Goalie Lab, where you can book a one-on-one fitting with a goalie specialist like me to make sure your setup actually fits the way you play. It doesn't matter if you're just getting started or chasing championships, General Sports makes sure you're dialed in. So before you order something online that might fit, go check out General Sports, because every save starts with the right setup, and General Sports makes sure you've got it. All right, back to the episode.
Would you rather have bleached hair or a mullet if you were to do the all hockey hair team?
Bleached hair, because I like already do.
See,
So
that's what I was gonna.
We'll brighten it up, make me blonder.
Part of me was like, I feel like I should ask you if you'd rather have black hair or a mullet.
A mullet.
Yeah, because like
I
you're
don't
already
think I'd
blonde.
look good. Yeah, I don't think I'd look good with dark hair. Like, I'm too pale.
I think it would be a little shocking, but it would look fabulous. It
I
would
like
really
the
change the look.
Yeah.
The
You wouldn't
mullet
even
would be
recognize
great.
me.
I feel like you could hide the mullet so easily. Like
Yeah.
you could wear a hat.
Yeah.
Wait till
Just
it
like
grew
do
out.
like a rat-tailed mullet. Then I could have like a long
Yeah.
ponytail. Yeah.
Did you do anything when you went up to the line?
No, I just smiled.
Yeah. That's what I did too. I get nervous.
I got nervous. They were like talking about it. I was like, "Hi, Grandma."
There was a few girls who like went crazy my year
Okay.
and did like the whole hair shake
Ugh.
and everything like that, but I just didn't
There was
do
a
it.
few people on my team that had fun. Like somebody did like the serious face.
Did you see the Breck goalie?
No, what did she do?
She did like she went up to the line, she was smiling, and then she was like going like this. It was
I
so
could never.
funny.
That's like what
No,
someone
it
on my
was so
team
funny
did.
because she's also a ninth grader.
Yeah, she's so good.
She's so
Like-
good. So I was like, I can't believe she just did that. Like this is
Yeah.
she's ready to go.
Yeah, she's so
But
good.
yeah, I thought that was funny. Today I was looking out for all the hair shenanigans.
Yeah. Have you
There was
seen
a few good
Delano's?
ones.
Delano they all have like tiger, or like half of them have tiger hair.
Oh yeah, I saw those. And
Yeah.
then I saw one where it was like a spider web.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
was that
A lot of
Haley?
people have the bleached hair this year, which that's
Yeah.
not good enough for me. I need like the designs now.
There was someone on Mankato that had red hair and then like braids. You'll have
I
to go
saw
check- and a
that.
beard. Yeah.
I actually did see that. That was a lot. It was
A
like bright
lot.
red. It was like Ariana
Yeah.
Grande. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish
I wish there was more of that for like girls, but I would never
I know
touch
we
my-
we need to make our own thing for girls. Like there needs
Yeah,
to be
we do.
something like that.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
not hair. Don't
Not
touch the
hair, because nobody's gonna mess with their hair.
No.
I did not, and I was
You'd
not
have to
going
pay me to dye my hair.
Plus I was so serious. Like when I went up to the line, I don't even think I said, "Hey dad."
You were just like,
Yeah. I think I was just straight facing it. I was like, just get this
I
over
could
with.
not keep a straight face. I was like, even last year, I was like, just like full smile. I remember Randy told me after the game, he was like, I thought you were like high or something because you were smiling so big. I was like, what the heck?
You're too happy. You're too happy
Yeah,
to
I was
do
like,
like
I'm
this
just
straight
happy
face.
to be here. Yeah, just happy to be here.
I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, literally.
Our second guest today is Kayla Swartout, a senior goaltender for Holy Family High School and a committed recruit for the University of Wisconsin. Kayla was named Minnesota's top senior goaltender winning the 2026 Jory Jones Award, and has been a cornerstone in the crease for the Holy Family Fire all season. She helped lead the team to their second straight state tournament appearance and a third place finish. This season, Swarty posted a 24-4 record with a 1.67 goals against average and a .938 save percentage. Over her career, she made 1,999 saves, had a 1.61 goals against average, and a .936 save percentage. Let's bring Kayla on, hear about her journey, her standout season, and what she's most excited for heading into college hockey with the Badgers. Welcome to the Talk Goalie to Me podcast. I'm so excited to have Swarty on our podcast today. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's super exciting because I know Swarty. Obviously, I spent a lot of time with you this past summer, which was such a blast. And you've had such an amazing senior year. So I had to get you on here. And I just wanted to start kind of at the beginning for you. And when did you first start playing goalie?
It was in elementary school. I remember my neighbor was a goalie and I like saw his pads in the garage. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So then my parents put me in skating and I was always the goalie that was like, I'll take the gear. I want to be goalie in mites. So I always took the gear. I was that one. My older sister, I convinced her to play hockey and then she tried goalie. It didn't end well, but so I'm the only goalie in our family, but that's kind of how I started, was my neighbor. And then when I was in youth, there was a goalie. I remember her, Cameron Noyce, and I like just looked up to her and she was the best role model for me. And she just helped like keep pushing me along to be a goalie.
Did you any of your family play hockey before you started? Because you said you had your older sister play after.
Yeah. So I was the first, and then I like begged my older sister to play, and then my little sister was just thrown into it.
That's such a funny story because I feel like most kids, especially middle or younger kids, will play hockey just because their older brother played hockey or their older sister played hockey. So it's so funny that you kind of started the trend.
Yeah, I remember like begging my sister. I was like, please just go. And she's like, no. And she was like a very girly little kid. She was like, no, I'm not doing it. I was like, just go. And she's like, no.
So did she play all the way through?
Yeah, she played through high school, but then she had some injuries, so she had to stop. But yeah.
And your little sister, does she still play?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice. And where does she play? Does she play for Holy Family?
No, she's still in 8th grade. So I call her my big little sister. If you ever see her, you'll think she's older than me, but she's my little sister. She goes to Breakaway and plays at Minnesota Made.
Okay. So before you went to Holy Family, where did you go?
So I was kind of all over the place. Not many people know this, but I played at Minnesota Made for 2 years, or I grew up playing in Shakopee, and then I played at Minnesota Made for like 2 or 3 years. And then I was going to play high school with my older sister at Holy Angels, but it kind of got like messed up with me being at Breakaway. So we were like scrambling for a team, and me and my teammate Addie Cowan went up and played in Andover. And I live in Shakopee. So we like hiked up to Andover, and then I found Holy Family the next year.
Yeah. How was your experience at Holy Family overall?
Oh, it's been amazing. I love it so much. Like, I recommend Holy Family to so many people. The school and the hockey, it's all just amazing.
I feel like it's so cool. I heard you talk about it a little bit in a different interview, but it's so cool that you got to be a part of growing a program.
Yes.
You know, like Holy Family hasn't been around forever. So could you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, like I remember when I was first like looking at schools, Holy Family, it's out like a smaller school, obviously. So there's not as much publicity to it. And the hockey was, I think when I looked, it was only like 5 or 6 years old. And I remember like Randy tells us the stories of when they were co-opted with Waconia. They're like the wildfire. They didn't have enough people for a varsity team, so they'd like play JV and varsity, and they just loved it. And so it's just so amazing, like being a part of that team and growing it and making history to be the first team to go to state. It's just amazing.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So you went to state your junior year, and that was the first time ever.
Yeah.
And then you just went, obviously, for your senior year.
Yep.
So that's so cool. I feel like it's so similar to kind of how I was, because I went my junior year for the first time ever with Brainerd, and then we went my senior year as well. And then you committed to Wisconsin. When did you do that?
Um, that was, oh my gosh, October of my junior year. Yeah.
So that was kind of like right away.
Like when you look at it overall, it was early, but I felt like in the process it felt so late. But I feel like as a goalie, you have to shift your mindset to recruiting. And I feel like you went through it too. Just like goalies are not always the first to be picked up. So like it was really early when you look at it now, but in the moment I was like, oh my gosh, like why am I not committed yet?
I know. I think especially, for college, it's so nerve-wracking because you might really have your sights set on a certain program, but they might not need a goalie that year.
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah.
class, you know what I mean? And I think that's the hardest part about being a goalie, and what people have to realize is that even if you're amazing and they want you, they might not be able to take you.
Yeah.
Like
And
that's
it's
just
like
the
such a
reality
hard,
of it.
yeah, it's such a like hard reality. Is I remember like reaching out to schools and they were like, well, if you're interested in a gap year, and I was like, oh, like I don't know if that's for me. So it's just like so hard to find that place in a place that needs a goalie. And like you also have to look at it like there's a freshman, sophomore, junior. Are you ever gonna play too? Like just like looking at the situation.
And like most of the time they would never take two goalies of the same class.
Hmm.
So that gets a little tough too. It's just women's hockey, because of that, is a little harder because boys, you can just go play juniors.
Yeah.
Like say a team said, "Oh, we really want you, but we need one more year."
Hmm.
And as a guy, you could be like, "Okay, I'll just play one more year of juniors."
Hmm.
But as a girl, yeah, like if somebody was saying, "Oh, could you take a gap year?" It's like, what would you do in the gap?
Yeah. And there's only
You
like so
know?
many programs I feel like that
Yes.
will take you and that you could compete and like still get better at.
Like there's only so many like U18 programs,
Mhm.
it's and most of the time it's like the in between. I feel like that's what a lot of people don't know about women's hockey. Even a lot of people will come to me talking about like D2 women's hockey. I'm like, there is no such
You're
thing.
like, that's not a thing.
I'm like, that's actually not a thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny, but how did you decide on Wisconsin?
So they were actually like the first school that reached out to me like right away midnight. And I remember I'd like I don't even know what it was. It was some OS tournament. And I woke up and I was like trying not to go on my phone. I wasn't really expecting much, but I went on my phone. I was like, oh my gosh. Like I checked it. I was like, Mom, Dad, like, look who emailed me. I was literally like, is this Wisconsin? Like, is this the right Wisconsin? I was like so shocked. But I talked to them and the coaching staff are just so amazing. Like they had put so much time and like effort and energy into me becoming the best version I can be. So that's just so important, like knowing a coaching staff really wants you to get better. And then when I was on campus for my visit, all of the girls were amazing, just so nice and like welcoming to me. I remember like Lacey Eden, I'm like sitting there like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. And she was like, do you want my phone? You can like go walk around. I was like, no, it's okay. Like they're all just so nice and the campus is beautiful, obviously. And I know I can still get a great education while playing hockey.
Yeah, it really is a great school, and it can be tough to get into for some people, people who, you don't even play sports. Like I had a few
Yeah.
friends who are very, very smart and didn't get into Wisconsin. So like school academics and, hockey wise, it's like definitely a good choice. I mean, they're ranked number one in the country right now. They're the defending national champs. They're going into this weekend, WCHA, like Frozen Face have heavily favored, and then like postseason as well, like past that for the national championship. So
Mhm.
I can see how you chose Wisconsin, and the girls are super nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the fun part about recruiting and stuff is you get to go visit and you meet those people like Lacey Eden and like all those girls that are there, especially because, they have Olympians on their team, like
Mhm.
Carolyn Harvey and Layla. And, like you realize that they're just like normal people.
Mhm.
You're like, oh, like this could be my teammate. How weird is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, like, I'm so excited to hang out with Ava and, like, learn from Ava. She's gonna be such a great role model.
That's gonna be super, very, like, super cool.
I'm so
And she
excited.
just she just got back from the Olympics
Yeah.
too. So yeah, that's
Maybe
exciting.
I'll
Oh,
see her gold medal.
you definitely will. You should ask her if you can wear it around.
I don't know if I could wear that. I feel like that's, like, bad juju.
But what if it's like good juju though?
Yeah,
Like you
we'll
all
just say it's good
just
juju.
yeah, like
Yeah,
turn the tables. Maybe it's like
that
a good thing. I've
exactly.
never heard anything about like touching someone else's gold medal. I've only heard something about like the Stanley Cup. It's like
Yeah,
don't touch the Stanley Cup if you haven't
yeah.
won it yet and you want to win it.
I don't know if that, like, applies. I feel like I'd touch it because I would never win a Stanley Cup.
Oh, I've touched it. I was like,
You have?
whatever. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not gonna win this, you know?
Maybe
Maybe
one day
not
that
the you can't touch the Walter Cup.
oh, no.
Don't touch
I don't think I'd touch it.
it.
I
That's
think I'd
bad
be
luck.
like like, "Stay away, it's the plague."
So speaking of like it being your senior year and Wisconsin, when do you have to report to Wisconsin?
We leave, like, June 13th, and we have classes start June 15th, so we're there all summer, and we'll, like, work out and train, and then we come home for a few weeks, and then we go back for, like, the winter year.
Yeah. Okay. That's like pretty early in comparison
Yeah,
to a lot of other programs. I think,
yeah,
as a women's hockey player, there's very few programs that have you on campus all summer.
mhm,
Everybody, I
yeah,
know at Minnesota it was an option. Like we could be on campus if we wanted to. We didn't
mm,
have to be, but I think that's super good for you as a freshman to get to be on campus a little bit
yeah,
early, get to know everything, or else you just get lost,
yeah,
you know?
mm.
So that's exciting. Are you super excited for that, or you think you're a little bit nervous?
I'm so excited, like, definitely nervous because, like, going from a small school like Holy Family where there's 400 kids, like, I know everyone, to Wisconsin, that's huge, like, I'm a little nervous, like, finding classes. I know I'm gonna get lost, but it's okay. That's what Google Maps is for. But I'm
I
so excited.
I don't want to scare you, but my first day of class at the U,
Oh, no.
everyone was saying how the campus is so big. Make sure you
Mhm.
walk to all your classes before your first day. I was like,
Yeah, no thanks, I'm fine.
whatever. I'm from like a town of 200 people. I was like, I'm gonna be able to find it. And that was when Lime scooters first came out as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm walking around, can't find my class. My advisor told me if you don't make it to your first day of class, they kick you out of the class. I'm sure he was just trying to scare me,
And
you know.
it got to you, though.
Oh, and I'm scared because I'm a rule follower. So I'm terrified and I can't find the class. So I'm like, okay, I got to hop on this Lime scooter and try to get there faster. Well, turns out the Lime scooter I picked was dead, half dead.
Oh my
So it's moving at a snail's pace about
You're
this
like, "I
fast.
can walk faster."
And I'm crying because I'm like, I'm not going to make it to my first class and they're going to kick me out and then they're going to kick me off the team. Like, I was so terrified. And I finally made it to the class. I was in tears and I just ended up riding the Lime scooter for like 30 minutes. I could have walked faster, but I was just so devastated I didn't know what to do.
Oh my
And I get
gosh.
there and they're like, "Oh, is everything okay?" I was like, "No."
Don't talk to me.
Am I kicked out? I'm here.
I'm on scholarship.
Please don't kick me out of the class.
I'm just a
And
hockey player.
and my advisor, I told them that story and I was like, I got there. Like, I swear I got there. They were laughing so hard. They were like,
He was
it's
like,
really
"I was
not that
kidding."
serious. It's not that serious, Kinger. Like, we would have figured it out. I was like, I
Oh,
couldn't find it. But Wisconsin
that's
will be a
gonna
little bit
happen to
easier
me.
to navigate. At least
I'm
you don't have
gonna
to go like across the bridge. That was
Yeah,
my holdup. Was like I
across
was
the
like
bridge.
going across the bridge and I didn't know it was confusing. But you don't have
Yeah.
that. So don't worry. Nothing
Like,
bad's
it's
gonna
a I
happen.
feel like Wisconsin's a little bit more compact to, like, a little bit, but it's still so big and there's so many buildings, so when I call you on June 15th crying.
I'll be there to console you.
Thank you. We'll tell the advisors together. We were on our
Yeah.
way.
We tried.
Yeah.
At least it's on the lake, though. That's really nice.
Oh, yes. And I heard, so like with Maddie, she's best friends with Grace. So we've heard like stuff of kind of what the girls do. And it sounds like they just go and hang out. Like after hockey and classes, they'll just go hang out on the lake or like at the pool.
Yeah, that's super fun. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And it's nice because Madison is obviously heavily built around the campus there.
Yeah.
And whereas the U is like, it's the city and then it's the U.
Yeah.
Because this city is much bigger than Madison, obviously.
Mhm.
So that's pretty nice. Do you know all the people you're going in with?
Like there's a few that I've never talked to before, but I know of all of them or have like played against them at some point. So that'll be fun. And then we just got like our room assignments. So I'm staying in like a room with Maddie Kimbrell. So that'll be so much fun. And then we're like sharing an apartment with Nella and Shayla from BK.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Do you
Yeah.
think as a goalie, it is, nerve-wracking going in as a freshman with, someone like Ava already there? Or do you think that gives you like a little bit of comfort in knowing that you can like learn from her?
I think like both. I'd say it's similar to like my high school situation coming in behind Sedona. I feel like every day your role is just like to push the other goalies to improve yourself and knowing that you might not take over that spot right away, but just like growing and like learning from Ava or in my case like Sedona, just like learning everything you can from them and just taking it all in and kind of like understanding the game more and what's going on, I feel like is so helpful just to prepare you for your next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And speaking of kind of your time at Holy Family and your teammates and everything like that, I heard you talk a little bit about your teammates after you won the Goal of the Year award this year, which is awesome and super cool,
Yeah.
which is quite the feat. But no surprise, I mean, this season you guys had a 24-4 record. You finished with 1.67 goals against average and a 938 save percentage. And what I thought was absolutely crazy was your career stats. You finished with like 1,999 saves.
Wow.
I was like, could they
Can
we just add in one save?
Oh,
Can we just
gosh.
pad the saves? Just make it 2,000?
Oh my god.
Like we need to
Maybe I
round it up.
should have stopped one more puck. It's okay.
Yeah, honestly. It's your fault, actually.
Yeah, I guess.
You did your banquet, which was on Sunday after the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when you guys had that? And then they announced like Miss Hockey and everything like that. That's pretty cool. Talk to me a little bit more about your senior season because you had more than just the state tournament that year.
Yeah. Like I remember like it honestly flew by. Like I remember going to our first game at Lakeville South and just like oh, it's the first game, like long season ahead of us. And then I feel like our last game was like here in no time. And I always tell people like enjoy it because it goes so fast and it truly does. But it was just such a great season. We like had expectations obviously after my junior year and like going to state for the first time. We were like we had expectations. We wanted to get back to Grand Casino. But then when we started and we like went on that initial 15-game win streak, we were just like, wow, okay, we might actually be like pretty good. So it was just kind of like so cool to go on that 15-game win streak because I don't think I've ever had that in any of my hockey career. So that was just amazing. And really the people are what make it so amazing. And my teammates just every day, like showing up for each other just makes it so great.
Yeah. I think that is the best thing about high school hockey is getting to know everyone so well. And everybody is so different in high school. In college, I think everybody's different, but everybody kind of shares the same goal in wanting to win a national championship or,
Mhm.
things like that. I think in a high school, it's like some of those girls might not want to go play college hockey. They
Mhm.
might like this might be the end of the line for them. And I think that's where the state tournament can be really cool because everyone just lays it out because it might be their last chance to do
Mhm.
it. And so that's super fun. Did you guys stay downtown when you guys went?
Yeah, we had the late games, so, like, every night like, my sleep was so messed up for the following week. We didn't go to bed until, like, 3 AM because our games would get over, like, 11, 10, 11, and then we'd go back and eat and, like, shower and whatnot, so we had some late nights.
Yeah. Do you play any other sports? Like, do you play a spring sport?
Not this year. I have in the past played soccer and lacrosse. They somehow
Mm.
convinced me to play lacrosse goalie. So if you ever get convinced to do that, say no. Say no.
Say no. They convinced me to do that in high school, Swarty.
Say no to
I
all
played
other goalies
soccer.
out
I
there.
played soccer and lacrosse too. That's actually so
Yeah.
funny.
I feel like those
And
are like common hockey sports.
they're very similar.
Yeah.
And lacrosse goalie is no,
Awful.
like
Say
it's
no.
awful. It's awful. And the ball hurts
Oh my god.
and your save percentage is horrible, but that's like
Awful. Oh,
but that's normal, but
I
like as a
know.
goalie, it just messes with your head. You're like my
Oh,
save
it's
percentage
so
should be
bad.
like a 9.5, but right now it's about a 0.3.
Yeah. It's awful. I'm like, I remember my first lacrosse game, like I played lacrosse when I was like way little, like way back when. So I hadn't picked up a lacrosse stick in a while, and then I was goalie. And I remember like the first game, this we played like Hutchinson, and they were like, "You're really good. How long have you been playing?" I was like, "A day." Like, so I figured it out, but it sucked.
Do you think playing other sports helped you as a goalie?
Yeah, definitely. Like when I played soccer, I remember being in like such good shape because we did lots of running. Um, so I think just like sometimes taking the time away is really good, like to give your muscles a break, give your mind a break. Like it's good to not always be hockey, hockey, but I always find my way back to being hockey, hockey, hockey. But it's good to take a break.
It's hard not to. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to have someone else tell you you need a break.
Yeah, it's hard. Like it's easier said than done. People are like my mom all the time, like, just take a day off, like sleep in. I'm like, no.
I
I'll be
can't.
up at 5 for hockey.
What kind of hobbies do you like to do to kind of get yourself away from the rink now?
It's been weird actually, like now, like not having as much. I've been trying to find stuff, but I've like this week I've been busy with schoolwork, but I have 3 dogs and I love to play with them, go on walks with them. Like we'll go on walks forever. I've found bedazzling. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Ah,
So much fun.
oh, I've heard of
Yeah.
that. I've
Oh,
seen a
here I have like
lot of people do that.
my aquaphor right here. Like my teacher just gave me a bunch of ducks. So I'm gonna bedazzle some ducks.
I feel like that just feels like such a goalie activity to
It's so
bedazzle
fun.
my lip
Like I
gloss.
have my charger. Like you just get to
See,
like
that's nice. That's
yeah,
like practical to me because you keep
yeah,
that for a long time.
yeah. And then it's like
But
everyone knows it's yours.
exactly. And people will like bedazzle all their like skincare and stuff. I'm like, that
Mhm.
lasts like a month.
I
So then you
get
just have
that,
to
but
throw away your bedazzle? Like that's
it's so
sad.
fun. Like and I hate being on my phone, so like I'll put my phone away and just like sit there and put some beads on it. It's so much fun.
That's cute. Well, did you already order your gear for Wisconsin next year?
Not yet. I think because we go in the
Mm.
summer, so I'll order it probably like over the summer. But
Do you know what you're planning on?
I think I'm gonna go basic, just because like gotta be like chill freshman, you know. So I
Yeah,
think
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
go
you're
like
pretty chill with your
yeah,
designs. Like you've always been
yeah.
pretty chill.
I remember when I was like first doing custom, I was like, I have no clue what to do. Like, it's too much. And we tried to do flames for my junior year, and they looked so bad. So we just like went with the basic like white and green. And then I had Shyla Saletta, who played at the U. Like she drew up my helmet, and then she drew up my pads, and she was like, "You should do tan." I was like, "Too much." Like I was like, "No, basic, tone it down."
That would be awesome. See, that would be something like I would love. But yeah, I liked your flame ones. I thought those
Yeah,
were cool,
oh,
but
they're iconic.
But yeah, that's exciting. It's exciting
Yeah.
to like get to do your helmet
Yep.
and your pads and everything like that. So that'll be cool. I
And
know you
I'm
probably
not
will.
very creative, so I'll probably just like text Shy. I'll be like, "Can you draw me some pads? Can you draw me a helmet?" And like my helmet that she did, I was like, "Can you draw me a helmet?" And like first try, I was like, "Love it, cool." Like,
Yeah.
so,
And you're Brian's girl.
yep. I'm
You're
hoping I
gonna
can get Brian's next year, but if not, I'm praying true.
Yeah, I feel like I could see you in Trues too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's nice.
I
What
don't know.
are you planning to watch any hockey this weekend? We got a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
hockey going on.
lots of hockey. Like already at school today, we were watching. Maddie and I were like watching the state tournament until we got told to turn it off. But I love it. Like tomorrow, all day, the tournament will be on my computer, and then tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to the Wisconsin game.
Okay, you are.
Yep.
Isn't it's at 4:30, right?
I think 4.
Oh, okay. Something like
Yeah.
that. Well, I'll probably see you there. So that's
Okay, I was gonna say,
exciting.
are you going? Allie told me this morning to find her.
Oh yeah, she'll be there for sure.
Yep. Yep.
Well, nice. And there's one other thing I wanted to ask you about. So I saw that you're an ambassador for Sophie's squad.
Oh, yep.
I think that's pretty cool. What does that look like?
It's so amazing. So I first well, I always knew about Sophie Squad, but then they first kind of reached out to me this summer with the Dangle League stuff. And like I did some videos for them, and then more this season I did a few videos for them, and then helped out when they we did like a Sophie Squad game for Holy Family, and then our coach Randy is super involved with Sophie Squad. So then they reached out and were like, "We'd love to have you as an ambassador." And I just think it's so important to, especially as a goalie, but for all players, to take care of your mental health. And it can be so hard as a goalie to separate like the mental side of giving up goals or getting scored on to life. And I just think it's so important to find ways and like get rid of the stigma that it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, what is Sophie's squad kind of as a whole?
Yeah, so it's like a nonprofit organization that was formed around Sophie Wieland, who sadly committed suicide when she was 14. So this nonprofit is just helping to break the stigma that mental health like matters, and taking care of your mental health is so important.
I think that's super cool that you get to be involved in that. I remember when that was kind of just starting a little bit when I was in college, and now I feel like it's grown so much.
Yeah.
And especially, obviously like in the women's game, and it's kind of all through college and now like starting to be in high school too. So I think that's super important. Is there anything that you do now kind of to help you on the ice for like your mental health and stuff like you were talking about?
Yeah, I feel like having a good reset routine is just so important. And like we said, like taking time away, like I know it's so hard, but taking even those few days off, it's so important. But on the ice, mostly just like having reset routines. My goalie coach this past year was so helpful in like helping me reshape some thoughts to more positive thoughts. So like even in the moment when they're negative, just kind of reshaping it and reforming it into a positive thought helps you so much in the moment. So just finding those little things that can help you have more of a positive outlook during the game.
Yeah, I think the positive self-talk is like one of the most important things on and
Yeah.
off the ice, because whatever you're feeding your mind is exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think, especially when I was younger, there were so many moments where I was like, as a goalie on the ice, I was like, I'm tired. I'm going to let a goal in. Like, like just like,
Yeah.
and then a minute later, I let a goal in. I'm like, okay, like I knew it.
Cool. Yep. Or
Like,
like
you
I
know
know
what I
there's
mean?
we all have those games and you're just like, I don't want to be here. Like this sucks. And like when you have those thoughts, it's so hard to like do not fall into a deep hole of like this sucks, everything sucks, like then just going down a rabbit hole of like life sucks and all that. So just like reshaping it into like, hey, I get to play hockey, or like I get to be here, just kind of the positives. And also like seeking positives in your game. Like I feel like every goalie does it, every player does it. They're like, oh, my feet, or like my hand positioning on that. And so just like finding like the positives, like that was a good save, or like stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's such a good message, especially when the puck feels like a golf ball instead of like a beach ball on those
Yep.
days. it's important to remember that, like pressure and getting to playing games is such a privilege.
Mhm.
And like being able to have that opportunity is so amazing. And somebody else might not get that opportunity that
Yeah.
day. And
Yeah.
so as a goalie, I think that's like such a good reminder. It's just like being positive to yourself and bringing your best to your team, like you mentioned earlier too. Like they deserve your best, whether it's
Mhm.
like practice or whether it's a game or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
And also, like, remembering that sometimes you get scored on. Like, that's a hard message, like, I had to figure out this year because I was always like, "I want a shutout," like, "I should have gotten a shutout," or "I should have stopped that," and just, like, remembering that players are just as good as goalies and, like, they're gonna score, and as much as it sucks, sometimes the puck just ends up in the back of the net, and, like, sometimes you have those games too, like, at state, I had one of those games and I couldn't even stop a beach ball, like, nothing was going my way, and it just sometimes it happens, but you just have to reshape it, seek a positive, and move on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's exciting for you that like you do know that there will be another game. Like you'll get another chance, you'll get another opportunity. Like you're still so young. And so like that's pretty cool. And like you have such a long, like fun, exciting road ahead of you
Mm.
with you're about to go to college, you're about to graduate high school. And, I think that's awesome. And just like encouraging, like one game doesn't define like the goalie that you are and that you've
Yes.
built up, you know.
Yeah. Like, it's a hard thing to come by, like, knowing that there's more to you than one game. Because I remember after, like, that semifinal, I was not feeling too good and just, like I was like, "Wow," like, that sucked, but just reshaping and, like, I have so much more to come.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Shorty. I have one more question for you. We spoke a
Okay.
little bit about like your recruiting process and how, you were like a little bit nervous about it and,
Yep.
before you decided to commit to Wisconsin. What advice would you give to a girl who was in your same shoes 3 years ago?
I would just say enjoy the process, and I know how stressful the recruiting process is, but send those emails and just kinda, like, every once in a while, just take a breath and, like, know everything will work out and that trust yourself, like, you worked for this moment, and this moment will come for you if you just trust yourself. What are
Love
those
it.
sirens? Sorry.
Ignore the sirens, guys. We're not in the studio, so there was like 4
I was like,
fire
I thought
trucks.
they were, like, gonna get quieter, and then it got louder. I was like, "Oh my gosh.
There's still I see the lights. They're still
Oh my
at the light
gosh."
right outside.
Sorry, back to my advice. Yeah, enjoy the moment and, like, trust the process because it can be hard seeing, like, your player friends commit or other goalies commit online, but just trust yourself, and you don't need to be the first one to commit, so just trust yourself.
Just be patient. Well,
Very.
thank you so much, Swarty. It was awesome having you on. You did a fabulous job, as I knew you would. So I appreciate
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.